It's a new month, which means we've got a newsletter. I think that's going to be my new theme song for these update teaching video type things. Welcome to July. Welcome to another month of resources that I hope are helpful for you in your devoted journey. And welcome to another month of supporting beautifully devoted resources and me in continuing to get Bible studies and teachings and all of these resources created and out into the world. This month is pretty exciting for a couple of different reasons. One is that my newest Bible study, which I can tell you the title now. I'm not announcing this yet publicly for a little bit, probably not until August. But my newest Bible study, called In the Waiting, Drawing Near to God in Seasons of Wanting, is in the editing process and is going to be sent out to some authors for endorsements. And that means that they get to read an early copy of the manuscript. And then if they choose to, they will write a short blurb about why this book matters. So I'm super excited about that. That's the first time I've ever done this. So be in prayer for that study as it prepares to come out in October. Just to give you a little info about it, it is a 40-day study. It's one that my Facebook community is going to go through for Advent this year. But it's a 40-day study looking at different characters throughout Scripture and their seasons of waiting and what we can learn from them about drawing near to God in those waiting seasons. So I'm really excited about it. It's been really difficult to write. Waiting is a hard topic to deal with, but I think there's a lot of beauty in it, and there's a lot of space to do some hard wrestling that maybe we're not used to doing in the waiting. So I'm excited for that, and you guys will be getting your signed copies when that comes out. So I'll keep you updated on all that too. Another exciting thing, I get to be on a podcast. That was random, but I'm really excited about it. This is my second online speaking type experience. And so I have no idea yet when that episode will come out, but when I know, I will let you know. But I do know that I'm talking about, it was a conversation about insecurity and perfection. So it's good. It's going to be real good. What other updates do I need to give you? Financial update. So last month I said that the funds were going toward regular upkeep of my website and different office type things. And my hope was to put some of that, your monthly funds, toward purchasing sample shirts for our August shirt campaign. I had a couple bills come up that I didn't expect to have, so some of that money had to be redirected to paying for my PO box and for running a Facebook ad to promote my workshop, my Meaningful Bible Study workshop. So we had to put the shirts on hold, but that is going to happen in July. It has to, because I need to make sure these shirts are ready for the campaign. For the campaign, if you were around last year, I had this shirt actually. This was not planned. I sold this shirt through a company called Bonfire, raised the money for another Bible study project, and we're going to do this again. This shirt is coming back as the short sleeve in navy. It's also coming back in a long sleeve that somebody asked me for, and then I've got a brand new design t-shirt that will have my logo on it on the front, and then on the back it says love God, love his story, live devoted. So I'm really excited. I just got to get those two new sample shirts ordered, and then the rest of the funds are going to help cover the cost for editing of my manuscript for the study. So there's your financial update. This month, give you an update on the resources. These resources stem from my desire this year to really dig into the spiritual disciplines and spiritual formation. And so we're going to talk about the spiritual disciplines. We're going to talk about, in just a minute, I'm going to share a little bit about spiritual formation. There's Goldie. Say hi, Goldie. And I think we get a little overwhelmed with the spiritual disciplines because we hear the word discipline, and in our culture we think we're in trouble. that these are things that we have to do, that they're I wouldn't say they're necessarily punishment, but we don't always view them as avenues of growth. We view them as we have to do these things, read the Bible, pray, to be on God's good side. And that is just not the point of the spiritual disciplines. Disciplines, I wish we could call them more spiritual formations, and maybe you can help me change that up. We call them disciplines because they take practice, and the discipline meaning is more of instruction and training. So we're training ourselves in these practices, all for the sake of knowing God and being formed spiritually. So every time I open up my Bible to read or sit down to pray, that I'm being formed. My heart is being shaped. And it's not so much about getting things done as entering into a space where we can allow God to change us and meet with us. So the resource I have for you this month is a list of a handful of spiritual disciplines that aren't as widely used. And I want to give you some encouragement this month to pick one, just pick one, either the one that seems most interesting to you, or maybe even the most challenging, or the one that you feel God tugging you to try out. Just pick one and start practicing it this week. In the last several weeks, I started practicing solitude. And I don't do it every week, but every couple of weeks, I try to take some space, usually on a Wednesday, and I take an hour and I get away from the house. I leave my phone on silent. I don't bring a Bible, a journal, music, anything. I just usually get outside or in my car, and I just sit in silence and solitude, and I allow myself to reflect on my life and what's going on. And then I ask God to speak and reveal something. The first time I did this, it was really eye-opening and actually really needed. The second time, I didn't really hear anything from God, but I really felt like the practice of showing up and making that space was important. So as we dig into spiritual disciplines this month, please know these are meant to form us, that we are meant to be trained up in them. There is not meant to be a pressure here, although it can be challenging. And I think it should be, because these things are hard and they're countercultural. They're counter to what our human nature kind of wants to press into, but they are good practices for helping us reorient our souls, reorient our hearts and our minds so that we can draw near to God and that we can rely on Him and build a relationship with Him. So, welcome to July. I am once again so thankful that you guys have committed to supporting me in this ministry, and I'm so happy to have you guys on the team. And I look forward to hearing how spiritual disciplines go for you this month.